So do you remember from the other day how many colors the human eye can see? That's right, around 3 million different colors. But that's really difficult because you couldn't name all of those colors. So we have to simplify this process. Otherwise, we'd still be learning the color from kindergarten. I'm only at 100,000. You still have many, many more. Even if you have 100,000 names. And one of the things that one of the ways we simplify things is the difference between a hue and a color. All right, this has a particular color. In fact, even the shadows have different colors to them. So if I was painting this, and I needed to communicate what the shadow was here, or this light part, or the medium part, then I would have to use actually different vocabularies to that. But in general life, we just call this blue, right? And we also call this blue. And believe it or not, we call that gray. But in reality, this is a blue too. You're like, what? Let me show you. Remember the color guy right here. So we have this right here, and it has three things: saturation, hue, and this says luminous, but I want to say value. I might say lightness or darkness, but there is a value to each one. And so if I want to find that blue of that shirt, I'll hold it up here. See, that was way too bright, too luminous. I need to bring the luminous down and make it more like this. And see how that's more purple than it should be? So I'm going to go more this direction and then maybe lighten it up. I don't know. It depends on, we'll do something like that. And like that. So that is really close to that blue. The luminous is 36. It's not this. It's more like 36. And the, saturation. I said luminous. Saturation. And saturation is just like the most amount of color that has with it. And the luminous or value, lightness of it, it's about 60%. In real life, I don't give percentages. I would just say, this is a medium to light color of blue, medium saturation, and I might even be more specific and say, kind of a blue-green. It's pretty straight blue, though, really, honestly. So that's those. If you have those three things, you can describe really any color. Very seldom do we try to describe all the colors. So I got some gray objects from the class. And what I want to do is choose, what color it is here, like this. So, for example, the table is actually a brown. I click on this right here. See how it's a light brown? If I hit that little darker part of it, it's like that. But this gray of that thing that I held up is a blue. And when you bring out the saturation, it's almost the same blue as the shirt. But see how it's close to this gray area. So this is saturation on the left, on the right, the right is saturation, the left is gray, top is light, and dark is blue. Sometimes this is represented as a triangle, okay, on some of those websites, but it's all the same thing. Now this thing right here, it is a green. Did you see that? Believe it now, when I click on it, and I bring it over here, yeah, that's a really bright green, but it's over in the gray area. And you might say, oh, that's light gray. But in reality, every gray has a hue to it. All right? And this one, do you want to guess what that is? That is a kind of a yellow-orange. Maybe I could also make it kind of a ugly, dirty brown, right? This is its most saturated. Would you have called my gray scissors yellow? Believe it or not, they're yellow. This thing is green, and this thing is in the blue area. So really, all of those grays have a value to it. So I guess today's lesson, I want to say there's three ways to describe something. Three ways to describe the hue, which is that general color, and you're probably used to calling that blue. But to distinguish the two, I also have to go to this thing called saturation, or saturation and value. This is lighter than that. and this is grayer than that. And remember that this shirt and this this box, this gray box, is really the same, almost the same blue. So this is low saturated, kind of light value. This is a little darker, but it's highly saturated, and they're both blues. So if you could describe things among saturation, hue, and value.